Hi, I'm Marie Ruck, and welcome to Grade 5 Best Practices video. In this video, we will discuss what one could see and hear while visiting classrooms during the Dividing Unit Fractions unit of study. Take a look at this meme. Many of us may have been taught this way and never really understood why or how that procedure worked. But in this unit, students will work with manipulatives and visual models to truly understand the meaning of dividing fractions. This unit on dividing unit fractions, there are 6 key learning goals that can be found in the STEMscopes parent letter. Students will use the understanding of unit fractions to determine how many unit fractions make up a whole. They will use the amount of groups or shares to determine how much or how many are in each group or share. Students will interpret and compute a quotient when dividing a unit fraction by a whole number or a whole number by a unit fraction. Students will also solve real-world problems involving division of a unit fraction by a whole number or a whole number by a unit fraction. What should we see happening in the classroom? Since students have not divided fractions in years past, students should first be exposed to different manipulatives such as fraction circles or squares and fraction tiles. They then should bridge the concrete models to drawing representations such as area models and number lines, as well as connecting properties of operations. Finally, students should represent real-world problems with equations. What type of conversations should be taking place? Here are some examples from the math chat questions from the STEMscopes Explore lessons. Questions such as these can informally assess students' understanding on dividing unit fractions. In this unit, we want students to explore and discuss that when a unit fraction is divided by a whole number, the quotient is smaller than the original value. But when dividing a whole number by a unit fraction, the quotient is larger than the original value. Students should also be discussing that the dividend is what is being divided. This list shows some of the vocabulary words we should hear teachers and students using in this unit. This is from the STEMscopes parent letter. Throughout this unit of study, we should see multiple opportunities for students to show their understanding. This could mean students demonstrating their knowledge of dividing unit fractions during the Explore lesson with the exit ticket at the end, or the Show What You Know as a follow-up. Students could also show their understanding through a Decide and Defend. These are examples of formal and informal assessments that a teacher can use to gauge a student's understanding that came from the STEMscopes resources. Here are 2 example questions that teachers, administration, or parents could ask students to gauge understanding of the content. Any questions we can ask students that have them explain how their model or equation matches their word problem, or asking them what is being divided in their equation or story problem, are great questions to gauge students' understanding. These questions are found on the benchmark pages on SmathSmarts that can be found by clicking on any of the benchmark links on the instructional guides. Here are a few activities from the STEMscopes parent letter that is meant to be an engaging way that students can continue their learning at home, or even to extend their learning in the classroom. Fifth graders do a lot of work with fractions. We are setting them up for success for when they get to 6th grade, so teaching fractions is definitely a big deal. Thank you for listening to this unit's Best Practices video.